Good afternoon, everybody. It's afternoon here. Well, I was actually like really slacking on the videos and the content, and I don't want to be that person that's like, yeah, it's been a while since I uploaded a video and did this and did that, because nobody really knew, you were missing. I guess that's how I feel when I see those type of videos, like, it's been such a long time, and I'm like, yeah, nobody knew you were missing, right? And I'm no exception to the rule either, right? But I realize it's a little bit different when you're out here actually doing it than, talking about it and saying that, I'm going to get out here and I'm going to do it every single day and I'm going to vlog. But when you're doing it and you're actually out here and you're marketing and, you're cold calling and you're making your calls, honestly speaking, it's just not realistic. At least just for me. And that's just what I've seen. For me, you just become so busy because you're trying to market and you're trying to go after that first deal that you're kind of short on time. So anyways, let's move past that. The last video that I did, I said I was going to do an update as far as how things turned out with that. The man basically owed more for his house than what it was realistically worth. So honestly, all I could really offer him was $25,000, and at that point, he still would have to come to the closing table with about $60,000, right? His pain point was that he was paying on 2 mortgages. So the house that he did have, that he was living in, him and his wife, that one actually had equity in it, and it was actually good. But where he was at currently was probably like his starter house. So most people will only buy 1 or 2 houses in their entire life. So you'll have your starter home and you'll have your retirement home, right? So basically what he had was, he had his starter home that he wanted to get out of, which he probably bought back in the days for about $160,000, right? But he still owed $80,000, and at the time, the house was only really worth $50,000. So maybe a little bit more than $50,000, maybe like $60,000. I want to say. I think I was being really, really stingy with like what I wanted to offer him because I wanted to make a decent spread, right? But anywho, the numbers didn't work, but I got to go on the appointment. I got to learn. I got to walk around. I got to take a lot of pictures. I got to kind of, even though I'm not a, contractor or anything like that, I took those pictures up to a few different guys that were at Home Depot, and I just kind of asked them what would be the price as far as, well, you see this basement. Like, I took pictures of the basement. I took pictures of the water heater. I took pictures of the uneven concrete within the basement. I took pictures upstairs around the windows where it needed work. I just took pictures of what needed work, and then I went up and I met with a contractor at Home Depot, and I just kind of asked for a scope of work just so that I could start getting used to spotting it with my eye and say, okay, well, that's $5,000 worth of work, or that's $10,000 worth of work, or whatever, just so I could start getting good at it, right? So that was good. I learned from that. But yeah, before I gave him my bottom line, I gave him so many options. I said, you can list this with an agent if you want to. You can fix it up if you want to, and then you'll get more money for it. I told him you could take out, a second mortgage on the house you live in and pay this house off. I tried to give him so many different options before I told him like exactly what I could give him. I also just kind of stood there for a while. I tried to keep the appointment at least to an hour so that I can at least build rapport. And I did that. I also gave him my business card and just said, hey, life changes all the time. I mean, hey, life is always changing, right? Just last year, I was living in Dallas. Life always changes. So I gave him my card and I said, if you need me, reach out. If I could be of any type of help to you, I will try to assist you. But I just kind of left it at that and not so much went for the desperate sale. I've learned this years ago, not to just like go out for the desperate sale and just, oh, you know, I'm the best thing walking and you need to do this and you need to do it now. So that was that. Moving forward, I just wanted to say don't give up, because I have this deal now where I'm working with this guy. And I was driving for dollars. I'll tell you how I found the house. I was driving for dollars, and I pull up and I see all these like orange stickers on the door. And so I get out and I read them, and they're all code violations, right? So then I happened to run into a neighbor while I'm going back to the car, and the neighbor told me that the man died. He actually told me the man's name, which made it so much easier when I skip traced him. So he told me the man's name. He told me the man went into the hospital. He just never came out. He died. His son sporadically comes up from New York and he'll check on him. So I said, okay. Once I started doing research, I found that now the house is about 4 days out of pre-foreclosure. So I've been trying to get in contact with everybody, and it's just dead end. So right now what I'm doing is I'm getting ready to go downtown and get the man's, see if I can find the man's, pull up the man's obituary, because I can't come up with anything. I'm going to also meet with the probate attorney, and maybe they have a system where the house may be in probate. I'm just not seeing it on my end. Also, I called down to the state, and I figured out that he owes back taxes. So the back taxes was like $5,100 and some change, right? So he hadn't paid it in 3 years. That divided by 3, what is it, like 17, I think. So he hadn't paid the back taxes in 3 years. He died 2 years ago. So he had stopped paying the taxes for about a year before he passed, which is understandable. You're sick, you need money for your meds and not money to pay your property tax, right? So I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to keep going. I said that to say this, that it's not easy. You're going to hit so many like dead walls and brick walls. But with this deal in particular, if I can push through and get through, I'm just going to offer $8,000, let's bring the taxes current. There is no balance of mortgage. The house was paid off. So, and this one is just hard, and I'm putting it out there and putting my business out there as far as what I'm working on, to just kind of tell you how hard some of these deals are. Not easy. Like some of these Facebook groups, and they're like, oh, I got this and I got that, and good for you, but some of these are not easy. I mean, I've been hung up on, I've been cussed out, my house is not for sale, I'm dying with the deed in my hand, and at the end of the day, I'm like, it's just a house, you leave this world, you don't really have anything. But yeah, you have to have really, really tough skin, and you will learn a lot in this business. But that's the update. I'm going to try to be more, I'm going to try to update you, hopefully, on the outcome of this deal. But I'm going to try to be a little bit more consistent. But like I said, it's a little bit different when you're talking about, staying consistent. And then when you're out here actually doing it, you really run out of time, because there's only so many hours in a day where you can just kind of have time to hit the ground and running and doing what you need to do. So hopefully, I'm not rambling at this point, but hopefully this helps somebody. I'm still going to keep going. I'm still going to keep this up until I get my first deal. I'm still going to keep going. I did this to hold myself accountable, and hopefully you guys are out there holding yourself accountable as well. All right, let me get down to this courthouse. Woo, wish me luck.